Hey everybody, TrinfiniteX here. Welcome to the future. The Mega Man Zero ZX collection. I am extremely excited to be streaming this right now. I kind of grew up with these games, and it's been a long time since I've played them. But I just remember them being extremely good, like way better than the original Mega Man games or the X games. And they take place after both of those series. Like I said, tons of nostalgia here for me. I am excited to share this with everyone who watches my stream. So, this is a collection of 6 games. All 4 Mega Man Zero games. Obviously, we'll start with 01. Man, this is just a great title screen music right here. All of these games have been remastered visually. So, these games came out on the Game Boy Advance. So, for anyone who knows what that is, it's been a long time since the Game Boy Advance has come out, and for any of you expecting, the old GBA pixelated art, surprise. This game has a ton of options. Here, let me see if I can just show it off real quick. Filter. Yeah, so this game has a filter in it. Like, this is what the game... Yeah, this is what the game normally looked like on the GBA. Like, you can see it's kind of pixelated, but they added a new filter to kind of sharpen up the graphics. So it's been graphically updated. The music in Mega Man games has always been good. But personally, I've always enjoyed the Zero series in particular. ZX was a nice try, and we'll get to that. But in my opinion, the Zero games were the best that the Mega Man series ever produced. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into 01 right now. So, you'll notice right away there's a continue option. I'll explain that in a minute. But first, let's start a new game. So, the Zero series takes place after the Mega Man X series, so this is kind of just a brief summary. Mega Man X was all about, like Reploids fighting each other in the name of humanity. There were tons of wars and destruction, and X was always questioning it. He was kind of whiny. But anyway, this takes place like 100 years after that. There's been tons of war and stuff, but now... X and Zero have been gone for a while. So let's see how people fared in those conditions. Obviously not well. I like that one guy at the front. It's just like, obviously way too close. But anyway. So the Mega Man Zero series is way more story-driven than X or the original games were. Honestly, I think that's why I always enjoyed them. But anyway, it looks like whoever these people are, they found... Looks like they found Zero. And force field. And also, that guy's dead. That's what he gets for saying, leave this to me. I love how slowly... I always loved how slowly those bullets move. And he's just like... he just sort of stands there and doesn't dodge, or he just takes it to the face. Like, couldn't you have ducked or something? Lots of dots. But anyway, this woman's name is Seal, apparently. And this tiny shining orb here is telling her to use her power. Don't worry. Explanations will be given. But in the beginning, everything just sort of happens quickly. I like the artwork of, like, the enemies slowly approaching. They actually did a pretty good job on this opening scene. Remember, this is a GBA game. Or originally it was. And awake. That was fast. Reconnected his arms and everything that quickly. Cut right through the force field and all that. Help you? Sure. Okay. So ideally... Oh, extra life right away. So ideally, you don't want to have Seal take any damage. And also, you don't want to take any damage yourself if you want to get the best score for these missions. Oh, of course. Oh, come on. Alright. I'm already not doing super well, but this is just enough for you to get the idea. The game gives you a little introduction with the Buster there. For anybody who knows Zero, you know he uses a sword traditionally. But we only have a Buster right now. And we save Seal from falling. This must be a prehistoric laboratory. Prehistoric laboratory. Two words that shouldn't go in the same sentence, or at least not for us, but they do in this future. Somehow Zero knew that was coming. Can't damage it with a buster. Oh yeah? So, here's the tutorial boss. If you know what you're doing, you can indeed damage this thing with a buster. Ah, took a hit there, really? Alright. Mysterious cyber computer creature gives us a sword somehow. To this day, I still don't understand that. Now we have sword. And we one-shot this giant machine. You can't believe we were able to destroy a golem, but you just said we were Zero. We were right, you are Zero, the legendary Reploid. Uh-huh. Ugh, I can't remember. I just slew all those enemies while I was half asleep still. You have hibernation sickness. That's another thing that I always found interesting. How can a Reploid have hibernation sickness? You're welcome. At least she's grateful. See, it's already a good character. Seal's a nice person. Alright. So, in this game, we're ranked on mission success, clear time, enemies destroyed, damage taken, if we used any retries, or cyber elves. That's a lot of stuff to explain, and I will explain it all shortly. So, mission success in this case was how much damage Seal takes as we escort her out. It's not a long escort mission. I sort of got unlucky with that spider that came from behind and also made like one or two mistakes. She follows closely behind you. You have no control over her, so it's a little bit awkward, but it's not, like I said, it's not a very long mission. I almost got the perfect time, 20 points. Killed plenty of enemies. I took a little too much damage, 6, so basically I got hit more than once. 92 points is okay, but it's not ideal. Welcome to our resistance base, Zero. Shelter for Reploids. Suspected of being Mavericks. So, if you know anything about the X series, that was all about X and Zero being Maverick Hunters. They would go around and destroy Reploids or robots that had gone crazy and mad with their own power and were doing things they were not intended to do. Well, guess what? And here we have the tie-in to the plot. X and Zero fought together during the Maverick Wars in the X games. Even Zero's like, X? That name sounds familiar. So, for some reason, X is trying to retire all the Reploids. Or at least all the ones he suspects of being Mavericks, which is apparently a lot of Reploids. Please help us. I love how no way is totally an option here. Okay. So now we can talk for a bit about the basic premise of this game. So the original games were all about Dr. Light made a bunch of robots, and then Wily, corrupted them and made them turn evil. And then Light upgraded Mega Man to go and to fight them and put an end to the violence. Well, and then that happened over and over and over again. Well, eventually, we move into the X series, where Dr. Light, created X and sort of buried him for the future, like a time capsule, more or less. And then he gets discovered later, after robots have become Reploids. So, Reploids are robots. And the whole X series happens with, Reploids going Maverick, basically developing free will and doing things they weren't programmed to do. Like question why they have to serve humans all the time. And X and Zero, being Maverick Hunters, are pitted against them to destroy them and fix things. So I'm just going back to this first area and showing off a bunch of collectibles and things that are located here. But so basically they did that for a while, and then eventually Zero decided to put himself into hibernation for a while and leave everything to X, because basically he found out that he was created by Dr. Wily, and he just wanted to leave everything to X for a while for no apparent reason. And then Capcom forced Keiji Inafune to make Mega Man X 7 and 8, which kind of screwed over the timeline, but basically in X6 he puts himself into hibernation for reasons. And here we have him being woken up 100 years later by Seal. So Zero's awake now. There are enemies to fight. There was a hidden container there. And there are these creatures called cyber elves. So cyber elves are apparently yet another type of life form that has developed on this planet. So at this point, robots have definitely developed free will. They're obviously self-aware. And, X is clearly... I'll go ahead and say this much since it's not entirely spelled out, but basically... So, Zero wakes up and finds that X has established a place called Neo Arcadia. And that's where all humans and Reploids can live together in peace, which is what X was constantly going on about in the X series. Like, why do Reploids have to fight each other? Zero never cared. Zero was always the better character. But anyway, so X finally built that place, but now apparently is going crazy and trying to retire all the Reploids for some reason, which will become apparent later. And as Zero, of course, our mission is going to be to help the Resistance, whom Seal is working with, to put a stop to that, because, these Reploids did nothing wrong. So we should help them. Also, being a Reploid ourselves, don't really want to be retired. Which is just a fancy way of getting around saying the word killed. Anyway, so that's the basic gist of everything we know about the plot so far. Just wanted to tie it into the previous games. Now to talk about this game just a little bit. So, this game is a little more complicated than the standard Mega Man game. So far, we have only two weapons, the Buster Shot and the Z-Saber. If you look at the bottom, you can see there's little stars down there. That indicates the rank of the weapon, which is literally just based on how many kills we have with that weapon. So our weapons upgrade over time, but it's not exactly, it's sort of an RPG-ish element, but not quite, because we don't actually gain any more damage on the Saber or the Buster Shot. We gain additional skills. So like the Z-Saber, when we start, we have only one slash, but then if we kill enough enemies, we get to do a 2-slash combo, and then eventually we unlock a 3-slash combo, and then we get a charge attack where we can charge it up. Like the Buster Shot has a charge tier 1 right there. Just to sort of demonstrate that. But much like the X games, like we can charge up our attacks. At least eventually we can. Like, this is nowhere near as strong as the Buster gets. But anyway, So, it takes a while to grind that out at the beginning, and I highly recommend you do so. However, it takes about 30 minutes to do that. So, I sort of have a save prepared. One where I did far better in the opening mission, by the way, and got 100%. I don't expect to get 100% on every mission. Not even close. So, as you can see, it takes about 30 minutes of grinding to really get anywhere. But, yeah, so in this file, I went ahead and just did all the grinding in advance. Anyway, Seal wants us to destroy the disposal center where they're retiring innocent Reploids as we speak. She wants us to destroy the facility. The resistance is like on its last legs. Seal is a human leading all these Reploids. She's a scientist and she's trying to save, you know, whatever Reploids she can. She asks us to save before we start the mission. We don't need to because we have this save file. So this is our first real mission here. As you can see, Buster Shot fully upgraded, Z-Saber almost fully upgraded. The main thing is to get the charge and the quick charge attack. That's the most important part. Actually, I should probably switch to the Buster here. So the reason I recommend you grind is because the hardest part of 0-1 is absolutely the beginning. Like, basically, hold right and keep firing and don't ever stop. Obviously, jump over spikes, like that's a traditional Mega Man thing. And don't get caught by spikes, it's insta-death. You'll see I'm still collecting these cyber elves. That will be explained better in a bit. But that's the charge attack for the Z-Saber. Ah, I missed it. There is a Cyber Elf container up there, and the Cyber Elf in it is actually kind of important. Actually, we should come back and get that later. I should get that later. They keep hurling these spiked enemies, like these spike wheel enemies at us all stage. This is actually kind of an annoying stage as an opening stage. The boss is super rough if you don't have your skills up. At least for a first-timer. I could probably handle it without, but it's still not recommended. And since I haven't played this game in over a decade, I'm gonna go ahead and I just wanted to go ahead and make sure I had everything I needed. Ah. Also, like, enemies tend to respawn, like, if you move even just a pixel out of place in this game. So, like, turn my back for a second and see, and it just respawns infinitely. That's a feature of this game. One that I think they actually change a bit later. Let me get this particular cyber elf out of that really dangerous position. Okay, so now here's the first real boss of this game. And he kind of sucks. This game is pretty easy after this point. But this boss is really rough if you don't know what you're doing. Also, since I have an S rank, we'll get to see his special attack. So this is Aztec Falcon. He's got a pretty simple pattern, but he does mix it up a little bit. And I'm already failing pretty bad here. Ah, come on. I didn't dip low enough for that. I'll probably die a bunch. Ow. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die here, actually. Patience is key here. And yet you're on a timer. Oh, come on. And sometimes he does cheap things like that. His typical pattern is he dashes and then jumps up on the wall. But sometimes he just decides to dash again underneath you. So it's really hard to actually dodge him. I fully expect to die a bunch. Just because Aztec Falcon is really, really obnoxious. I mean, it just comes down to the fact that at this point in the game, you have very little room for mistakes. Ow. See, that backdash, that's what gets me. He also does not flinch. You have no elemental weapons to stun him with. So you're just kind of stuck at this point with not nearly enough health to really effectively deal with him. Like, there we go. Ugh. Okay. Maya now got dunked on. Yeah. After I died to him, though. How's it going, Avalon? I thought about Mega Man 11, but then was like, you know what? Nah. I want to play Mega Man Zero. Too much nostalgia for me to resist. These were my favorite games when I was a teenager, a young teenager. So, obviously I did horribly because I had to use a retry. Took lots of damage. Clear time was way too slow. All right. Anyway, so she can't believe the Repla disposal center was destroyed. If this weren't a casual playthrough, I would probably reload from save until I get a much better rank, but as this is my first replay in over 10 years, I will let it go. So Seal says it a third time now. We are the legendary Reploid. Okay. So, cyber elves are apparently sentient computer programs in the same way that Reploids are sentient, robots. Oh, whoops, that was the wrong button. Still trying to get used to the controls here. Hold on. All right. So then what is... What's the menu then? Plus. Okay. Controls. So this... So, if you know Mega Man games, you know certainly about the way Mega Man games tend to have... Mega Man bosses have weapon weaknesses. Like, you get a weapon from one boss, and then you can use it against another boss who's weak to it to deal more damage. That was the same in Mega Man X to a certain degree. In Mega Man Zero, it's not quite that way. We have these element chips. And these element chips that we get from certain bosses are the weakness of other bosses. Anyway, so I'm just down here to get our other weapons. Assuming he'll, apparently we don't get any yet. Still trying to remember this game, honestly. This guy just wants me to give him, E-crystals. I know that feeling. Although my neck usually got sore from sit-ups rather than push-ups. But anyway, you really want to collect Cyber Elves because they give you power-ups. That's how you get power-ups in this game. Oh, hi, Aurora. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm playing this again for like the first time in 10 years. I already died once to Aztec Falcon because Aztec Falcon is mean and hard. But once you beat Aztec Falcon, the rest of the game's easy. Like, it really is. Unlike previous Mega Man games, the areas are all interconnected, most of them. So, like, we could use the transserver to warp around, but the whole map is connected. So that area that I went to was just outside the base. So I can actually retraverse. More like it's a Mega Man game that's pretending it's a Metroidvania. And also, Zero 2 and the other games don't continue this trend. So that Cyber Elf will float down to me in just a minute, and it's kind of important. That particular one. Like, this is about as close to a Metroidvania as a Mega Man game will ever get right here. It has, yeah, the interconnected map with the warps. Yeah, it's a little bit, it is a little bit Castlevania-ish. That Cyber Elf is coming down eventually, right? This one's always a bit tricky. Oh my gosh, it didn't actually. Okay. The beginning of this game is very grindy. Cyber Elves, in order to become power-ups and be useful, require energy crystals. You can see our crystal count over there. Again, that's part of the grinding I did to level up my weapons. We don't have stats like we do in Castlevania or an RPG, but leveling up our weapons gives us access to more skills. I said this a little bit earlier, but like when we start out, we only have this single slash, but then if we kill enough enemies, it levels up and we get double slash, triple slash, and charge attack. So I made sure to grind that out because it took like 30 minutes to do, so I went ahead and got a save file ready for that. I swear that Cyber Elf eventually comes down. And it's kind of an important one to get, from what I remember. Which is kind of why it's frustrating me so much that it's not here yet. Because I definitely blew open the container. Definitely. I'm not going to wait all day for it. I'll figure it out off stream if I have to. But why isn't it here? Like, it totally should be. There's no way to actually reach that hook. At least I'm pretty sure. Okay, not gonna sit here all day, though. Yeah, see, I'm clearly destroying the container. I don't know why it's not coming out. Anyway. So there's lots of grinding in this game. Lots and lots and lots of it. I'll try to do as much of it off stream as I can. We have the Thunder Chip now, so Thunder beats fire enemies, so I'm going to be finding... I'm going to try and remember which is the fire enemy coming up next for the next mission I have to do, but I wanted to try and get that one Cyber Elf, because it's actually a really important Cyber Elf to get, but apparently not. You have to jump up there to get it to come? Yeah, see, but I'm pretty sure you can't reach that hook. Like, you can't actually jump to that hook. You have to destroy the thing and let it float down. I already have this one, however, that I got from the first area. So see, I have to feed it. Can I hit down and have it? There we go. So I have to feed this elf crystals to get it to evolve to its next stage. Once it's fully grown, if it's one of the ones that... Yeah, I did a dash jump. It just didn't... it doesn't reach. I can show you again. It's right out there, but... Once I have the bigger ones leveled up, like the smaller ones, like they do small things like give you some health and whatever, but the larger ones that need leveling up are the important ones, because they actually give you permanent upgrades like improving my max HP. And boom, now I have more HP. That's kind of how this game works. basically, in a Castlevania, you would just like find a power up or something. In this game, you actually have to grind in order to make your power ups work. Basically. But you want to do that anyway because you want to level up your weapons. So it's Zero 1 was very interesting compared to basically every other Mega Man game. It's very unique. I'll come back and deal with that Cyber Elf later. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. In any event, let's help out the Reploid resistance here in this war-torn future. Okay, so the one I typically do next, if I remember correctly, is actually retrieve data. Because the train is a jerk. With insta-kill traps. Thank you for coming by, Aurora. It's good to see you. Find shuttle is something I usually do later. Yeah. So those two cyber elves I got back in the starting area are missable if you don't if you don't collect them before you do this mission. You can't ever collect them, so I made sure to collect those. But anyway, this boss upcoming is weak to the thunder chip we just got, so Cyber Elves are sentient computer programs in the same way that Reploids are sentient robots, and they just give you upgrades. Like, you use them once and they die, and they give you permanent upgrades, or they give you, like, these would probably drop health if we used them. And, like, they have different effects. I mean, they're literally just support creatures. They're power-ups is what they are. Power-ups with faces, basically. Oh, that's right. These things are here now. Forgot about those. Oh, yeah. This level becomes slightly more brutal. Oh, it doesn't turn off the... Whoa. This area is suddenly loaded with traps. Accidentally facing the wrong way. So we're here to retrieve a bunch of data that Seal says is here. I'm just sort of charging through at this point. I'm far less concerned with rank and, you know, doing well. And far more concerned with just relearning the game and, just getting through it right now, because like I said, this is something I haven't done in over a decade. Zero 1 is not really where all the fun is located, though. Like, Zero 1 is fun, but Zeros 2 and 3 are better. but I wanted to play them all in order. Anyway, so this giant boss beat us here and downloaded all the information that we wanted. So, obviously, we're going to have to destroy him to get the information. He is weak to the Thunder Chip. And this is honestly part of... Oh, whoa. See how he was stunned there? This fight really kind of illustrates very well what made Aztec Falcon so hard. When we fought Aztec Falcon, we didn't have any elemental powers, so we couldn't stun him and he had no weaknesses. But now that we have the ability to stun bosses, suddenly the game is much easier. So now we have an escape sequence. A very tight one, actually. Well, at least in the beginning. It doesn't stay that way. This is like the only mission that really has an escape sequence. But it's there's a lot of variety in this game. Like old Mega Man, like all the Mega Man games, like Mega Man and Mega Man X, they stuck to a very simple formula. This game was really their first attempt at breaking out of that formula and kind of doing a lot of different things, like missions that have you beat the boss, but then you don't just get weapon and then you're instantly warped out of the stage. No, instead, how about an escape sequence? Or how about missions that make you do different things besides proceed through the stage and beat boss to collect power-up, which you then use in some kind of weakness order. This game really experimented with doing lots and lots of different things that you'll see later as we progress through it. I keep hitting the wrong button. So B is my attack button. A is my confirm button, so it's kind of messed up. Anyway, so I actually got a really good score on this one. Took too much damage, but eh. I'm getting B ranks on my first replay in a decade, so not too shabby. So what kind of juice are you sipping on, Avalon? You said you were getting juice. What kind of juice you like? So we got the data. And with the data, we can actually get more weapons. Sadly, most of them are useless. Yeah. Yeah, it was a GBA game. The graphics are being sharpened up by a filter. Also, almond juice. Okay. Okay, apparently we don't get shield boomerang. That's oh, I think it's actually sequential. We actually get shield boomerang after we get 2 missions done, I think. Yep. I prefer orange juice myself. That's like the only juice I ever drink. I don't even drink it that often. How does it feel like a Sega game? I'm not sure I understand. How does a Sega game feel? Like here's the thing, I didn't grow up with like Sonic or like a Sega Genesis or anything. I didn't grow up with any of that, so I don't know too much about Sega games. The graphical direction? Yeah. Well, this game was it was made by Creates, in case you couldn't tell by the level design. Like Creates is still around making games today. Like I think they made like a game called Gunvolt, and it's a little more recently. But this is some of their earlier stuff when they were partnered with Capcom. I keep hitting B for no reason. So we can talk to Seal, we can save data, or we can talk to her about missions to complete. And unlike previous unlike other Mega Man games where they give us like, here's 8 bosses, in this game it's separated into like arcs based on the story, which I already mentioned. This game has way more story than other Mega Man games. We have like 3 or 4 missions we can do at the start, then we have an intermission mission, and then we get 4 more, something like that. Nintendo platformers and action games are 2D. Tend to have very cartoony style. Sega games tend to focus more on semi-realistic proportions. Okay. Yeah, I can see that. I mean, I assume you're saying minus the Sonic games, because the Sonic games are very cartoony, right? When you say Sega games tend to be semi-realistic. Okay. All right. Man, Earthworm Jim, there's a game I haven't thought about in a very, very long time. I never played it, but I've seen it. That's a series. Let's see. I think the next one I do is actually, I think the next one I do is Find Shuttle, isn't it? Destroy train, shuttle. Pretty sure it's Find Shuttle. Oh yeah, it is Find Shuttle because that unlocks other missions, yeah. So you have to unlock other missions by beating certain missions. This mission actually kind of sucks. Not because the mission itself is hard, but because the boss is annoying. Like, figuring him out is a bit of a challenge. Also these things. Those eagles. But the level's not too hard as long as we play it safe. I mean, I say right as I get hit. And watch out for the traps. Just gotta not get hit by the eagles. That's really... dumb eagles. Ah! Uh-oh. Ah, there's something up there. I need that cyber elf. I'll have to come back for it later. It sucks. I thought I jumped in time, but I guess not. Ah. Do I have to do Buster for this? I believe so. Honestly, still trying to remember this. There we go. Okay. It was Buster. All these traps. The traps are really annoying. You don't want to get hit by them. Because they just hold you in place for a while. Come on. There's a reason why I'm destroying them even though I've already passed by them. I don't know if they respawn or not, but... Oh, here we go. Okay. So now we fight an Egyptian god, Reploid, a robot, I guess a Deus Ex Machina. Now that I think about it. But Neo Arcadia keeps sending Reploids to come and kill the Reploids we're trying to save under X's orders. So we're gonna have to keep, we're gonna have to continue to fight other Reploids, but Zero never minded. Like, X was the only one who cared about that. This guy actually has more health than other bosses. That's kind of what makes him annoying. Also, I think I'm not actually damaging him. Why am I not damaging him? I should be. Ah. And then these guys. Chain grabbing is a thing. You can actually just get chain grabbed to death. There we go. There we go. Also, no boss door. That's something different for the Mega Man games. You're just kind of in it all of a sudden. So apparently Thunder Chip does no damage to him. I wondered why I hadn't dealt any damage. That was weird. I didn't realize he was immune to that. Gotta make sure I don't get chain grabbed again. Oh. Despite having the extra health from that one Cyber Elf, I still don't have very much. And I misread, I misunderstood the boss a minute ago. Yeah, he is pretty easy once you get the pattern down, but I didn't realize that Thunder Chip wasn't dealing any damage. Like, I knew he had lots of health, but I didn't realize I also wasn't dealing damage. Oh my gosh. Also, if you get hit, like, hit stun completely removes your attack, so... Oh my gosh, why is he still alive? Oh, come on. So I try to attack, and then if he hits me, the attack just doesn't come out because of the stun, so it's a little bit annoying like that. And like I said, he has a lot of health. They start out with 2 health bars. And he gives you, like, no time. I forget what he's weak to. Actually, I don't think he is weak to anything. I think he's a boss with no elemental weakness, which kind of makes him even more annoying. Come on. Also, he has iframes. So if you hit him at the wrong time, you just get no damage done. Oh, come on. I definitely got out of that one. He's not hard, he's just annoying. I just gotta remember his pattern enough. Now get him. There we go. See, that's the trick to get out of that all the time. Man, charge attack's not dealing as much damage as I thought it did. Also, the hilly terrain, the up and down hilly terrain is different. And he dropped a cyber elf. Cool. But we're not done yet. There's still time for us to lose and have to do that boss fight again. Because remember, we're here to rescue a Reploid. So we actually have to escort him back. So another escort mission. But this one is considerably more difficult. We also can't get too far ahead of him. Do those traps come back? Yeah. Also, that eagle came out of nowhere. Ah. And that's what happens if you step in those. Come on. If he gets off screen by even a pixel, like he just can't. Ah. These slopes. These slopes messing with me. He just stops if you can't... if he doesn't stay on screen. Oh, come on. Random attack, just getting past me. Yeah, he can't jump up there, so... oh, come on. There we go. I don't think he can die. I think he's just, your score will get wrecked. Uh-oh. Oh, no, actually he can die. Man, what timing. You know what? Nah, we'll just retry. Oh no, actually we don't have to fight the boss again. I'm surprised. So those traps on the slope are really mean. However, actually, by chance, the new weapon we get, the triple rod here, Maybe it can actually get rid of those traps a lot easier. I'll try it, but I'm not exactly optimistic about it. The triple rod is well known for being, quite frankly, useless. But it might actually be good for those traps, so... Let me see if I can do that. Okay. This is still going to be a problem on the, on those slopes that are pulling us down. Somehow that worked. I hate those eagles. They just dive in out of nowhere. At least we can destroy the shots these things put out. Oh, come on. You weren't off screen. Just gotta go slow and steady, unfortunately. Okay, so the triple rod apparently has at least one use. We definitely want to slowly clear every enemy because we can't really run past, thanks to this guy. I've managed to get him to take, like, he can't jump up here. We can jump up here, but he can't. So we actually have to take it really, really slow. These eagles come in off screen. It's so obnoxious. But then they don't dive deep enough. All right, come on. Enough of this. There we go. Oh my gosh. Well, we're almost back to the base entrance. Yeah, here we go. Please, no more. Yeah, the retries super destroyed me. But that's to be expected. At this point, I'm just happy to be able to beat the game, man. I honestly thought I would do better than this, but I forgot how irritating 0-1 can be if you don't remember exactly what to do. Like, exactly. So, but that's fine. I still remember mostly what to do. So here's why I did that mission, though, because now we've unlocked 2 other missions, specifically this one. So the element chips that are the weaknesses of various bosses are locked behind certain bosses that we have to beat. So actually, that is true. Do I want to do this one now, or do I want to do the train? I hate doing the train, but I think actually I want to do the train because that's the flame element chip. Actually, you know what I really should do? I should probably save my game. That'd be a good idea. Man, went from level S all the way down to rank D. But yeah, finding the hidden base is important because there's like I think there's an E-tank that I can get, but the ice element chip is locked behind the boss of this area, but the flame element chip destroys him, but I have to destroy the train in order to get that. Ugh, and I hate the train mission. Yeah, we'll do it though. Going to bed early so your next stop certain? That sounds fair. Going the wrong way. In any case, thanks for stopping by. Hey, Avalon. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Like, please feel free to let me know what you think. This is going to be my game from now until Ori 2 gets here. I want to relearn this because I used to be so good at this. I used to be S rank in everything. So I'm kind of excited to relive these. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. There we go. Man. There we go. Actually, one of these I can climb up, can't I? Yes. Here we go. Secrets. You have a good night, Avalon. And this is not a boss, this is a mini boss. But he dies pretty quick if you just have Thunder equipped. All right. So we're here to get back a cyber elf that was stolen from the base. And we have to destroy a train in order to do that. We're gonna dive down in here. Oh, that was a mistake. Apparently. Or maybe not. Got full health for it, though. This boss sucks. Like, the other ones were tricky, but this one is just cheap. Because he pushes you up into the ceiling, and there are spikes in the ceiling, as you'll see in a moment. And he has more health than even standard bosses, actually. Oh gosh. Well, that scared me. Like, see, there's no way to escape that. There's no way to escape that, and it's insta-death. You just get wrecked. That is vicious. Oh, and you have to do all this again just to get to the boss. You don't get a free pass to the boss. Oh my gosh. That is nasty. These guys with their iframes aren't very helpful either, but I want to get the Cyber Elf attached to it. Mostly for collection's sake. Come on. Uh-oh. I did not intend to go in here with this little health. I meant to grind some more. Uh-oh. Might be reloading from save data in a second here. Oh, come on. That was not... Wow. Oh, because... Okay. Oh, I get it. I know what happened. Okay, so I was trying to make it trigger the first one, but then because I was standing mostly on the second one went up. I was trying to make it trigger the first one and then like be on the edge so I could just escape it, but I stood too far to the right. That's what happened. This game really punishes you for just going ahead. Man, I'm starting to realize I cannot make a single jump without, like, if I don't know exactly what's coming, the game will punish me for it. Interesting. He's easy. But now we're back to the challenging part here. Might actually get a better rank because I reloaded from save. That's right. Okay, so jumping over these is the answer. I actually shouldn't keep my saber charged. Oh, what the? That's not... There we go. Jeez. Okay, that part is still tripping me up a little bit. But yeah, jumping over those big arm guys, that's something I need to do. This attack pattern seems pretty set in the beginning. I actually made it out of that. Get 3 hits, then he does this. There we go. Oh my gosh. See, he's not difficult, he's just cheap with his insta-death moves. Those instant death moves are just... That's like the worst way to design a boss. Here, let's just give the boss an attack that can just instantaneously kill you no matter what your health is. Seems fair. And it's really tricky to dodge because you keep trying... Because if you try to be patient but it doesn't work because you're like waiting for it to push you up, and it sort of freaks you out, like or at least it freaks me out, because like I see it pushing up and like my brain tries to anticipate it, but anticipating it just makes it worse because then you try to move too early and it pushes up the one under you, and it's Raise her with love and care? I prefer to just feed them E-crystals and then use them. And then just use them up. But actually, this is a pretty good cyber elf. Like, and when I say pretty good, I mean like exceedingly amazing. If this is the one I think it is. Yeah, this cyber elf is actually super important. But I need 2,000 E-crystals to rank her up to level 3. The bigger their portrait, the more the higher their level goes. So I need 2,000 E-crystals to finish getting this one. But this one actually makes the game significantly easier. Like, super easy. Like, it literally covers up all the spikes in the game. That's how easy it is. So, it's kind of important to have it. But we don't have it right now. I got it ranked up once, but I'm shy about 1,000 E-crystals to get it ranked up anymore. There are some places in the Resistance base I haven't gone. We can talk to some of these people. This girl right here is way more important than she appears. She ends up coming back for every single installment of this game. And beyond, actually. She's in the ZX series. Anyway, so all the areas are in fact interconnected. As promised. Like, here's the desert area right here. But we can't go past these guys because we haven't done all the missions in this area. However, there is a trans server here. And I just kind of wanted to unlock that. So, we can get that. Now we can warp over to the desert area once we do complete everything. That's the guy we saved, apparently. This game's not too long. I don't expect it will take more than a couple streams to get through it. Which will give me plenty of time to go through it again and do better, I hope. So, now we can do find the hidden base. Actually, wow. I thought that guy had the flame chip. Maybe I was mistaken? Huh. Oh, no, wait. That's the factory boss. Oh, my gosh. My memory is all screwed up. Like, I remember certain parts of this game, and I don't remember other parts. Like, at all. Maybe I should have done this mission. Because I know there's a sub-tank in here. Whoa, whoa. That's right. These guys are here now. Can blow that open, and he won't let us go past. I wonder if there's a hidden passage somewhere. Be very careful going down this hole. That's what I remember. Ah. So I believe the sub-tanks in this game are, in fact, tied to cyber elves, which means you have to unlock them with grinding. And also there's these death spikes all over the place. You know, to make the game more fun, more interesting. This corridor right here, I remember giving me so much trouble as a kid. Mostly because I wasn't very patient. Oh yeah, then they make you do it over spikes. Yeah. Fond memories coming back here. However, Zero's ability to change direction in midair is extremely helpful. That's honestly part of the reason I like these games so much. Is simply because of the free range of motion you have in the air. Although, I'm not a huge fan of these little guys that... They're just like the ones from the original Mega Man that, like, they come down and they're like little helicopter guys that just fly in and mess with you for no reason. Not a fan of the enemy placement sometimes in this game, though. Ooh, actually made it around that. There's more over here, though. I remember that. Isn't there something up here I can grab? Or can I not get that right now? You do get lots of stuff for coming over here. Get Cyber Elf. I believe you get these for killing a certain number of a particular type of enemy. Like if you kill a certain number of a type of enemy, you get a Cyber Elf from that enemy type. I don't think they're random. I think they're actually tied to a specific number of kills of that enemy. Anyway, this is where things get a little more interesting. We have to rescue all these captured Reploids. And basically, they're all gonna group up and hijack a shuttle after we rescue them all. There's a whole bunch of them. We have to explore every room here. But mainly I came here for the ice chip, which I am absolutely certain is here. I wonder where this door leads. Yeah, we're coming back here later. Yeah, there's lots of hidden areas. Zero is not known for being stealthy. Also, somehow these Reploids sneak past when we can't. Yeah, they lock all the cells. Intruder no longer sighted, therefore it's okay to release the... It's okay to release the cells. We can open them up now. See, if I just wait here long enough, the alarm goes off. Also, how does he know there's 3 prisoners left? Maybe I should be using the Buster, actually, if I wanted to get rid of these guys so they don't spot me. Let me try that. Of course, it might be too late now. These guys love to block Buster shots. But yeah, okay, so apparently making it through here without being detected is, best way to do that is Buster shot, apparently. Well, we don't want to set that thing free. Oh. And I stepped forward just a little too far. I think really what, yeah, because you're rated on time, I think the whole point of those guys detecting you is really just to slow you down. Oh. Okay. So this guy's not weak to Thunder Element. At least I don't believe so. Blizzak Staggeroff. Okay. Forgot that has a delay on it. Okay, you actually want to get out of that guy's... Oh. Yeah, he's not weak at all to... Actually, Thunder's not dealing any damage. Ah. Okay. Okay. I think I'm starting to remember this boss. Sort of. Ah, okay. I knew the ice would deal damage, but okay. We got some lives. We got some lives from those enemies. And from the life we collected at the end. At the end of that long ice area. So we can try a little bit more. Okay. I think I'm starting to remember the pattern for this guy. You gotta stand a little bit further away from him so his little ice shot doesn't hit you. Also, don't get slowed down by his ice beam. Yeah, escape by climbing up the walls. Ow, and then dive down sooner than that. There we go. He'll either jump at you or he'll jump up and fire the snowball at you. There we go. Well, we also stole a shuttle. So Seal's running an experiment to develop a substitute energy for E-crystals. That way they can... so that's basically the plot of this game. There's an energy crisis. Apparently E-crystals, the things that power Reploids and Cyber Elves and everything, apparently the world's running out of those. And so Seal's the scientist who's trying to develop a substitute energy for that to kind of fix the energy crisis and then break free from Neo Arcadia. But of course, you know, Neo Arcadia is not going to just let anyone else have power besides them. But that's their justification for retiring Reploids is, you know, like we have an energy shortage, can't meet demand, so we gotta kind of lower the bar for crime so that it's easier for us to have an excuse to retire them, I guess. In any case, so that's basically the plot right there. That's what she's talking about. When she's talking about... Yeah. Forgot how colorful she gets sometimes. But yeah, that's basically why she's talking about developing a substitute energy. But this is the intermission after you complete a certain number of missions. After you complete a certain number of missions, you have to do a mission in between doing any more. Okay, so I need to remember that for my next playthrough, though. If you use the wrong element, it deals no damage. Ooh. That's kind of important. Now, this thing, I'm pretty sure, actually is weak to thunder after its weak point gets exposed. So again, with this game doing things a little different from normal Mega Man games. Like this mission is only here just to serve story purposes, which is something Mega Man games almost never do. We actually don't want to kill this thing too soon. I actually need it to get to a certain point. Oh. Oh, it doesn't... Uh-oh. Well, I killed it too soon. Well, I guess I'm not getting that Cyber Elf. It needs to dig through a wall a certain amount for me to get a certain Cyber Elf. But... If you have an S rank, there's an additional phase that it doesn't have if you have a lower rank. That's why I did what I did. And forgot that that isn't there, and oh well, guess I'm not getting that one. This is just my warm-up playthrough anyway. So... that's fine. Now what I mainly want is I need more E-crystals for My hungry, hungry cyber elves. I may have to do some off-stream grinding some more. I never thought about the importance of our existence. Really? And everything changed when I met Seal. Tell me more. Seal once told me that I'm like a security blanket. That she can feel relaxed no matter what, as long as I am by her side. Wow. What a thing to tell a child. That's why I made up my mind to stay with Seal forever. Jeez. The writing in this game. Nope, can't think of a single thing for you to do. So there's just some free energy there that I can collect, but I need a lot more than I have. Actually, I think an achievement for this game is down here. Talking to Old Man Andrew, yeah. Sure, I'll mash through your text. So listening to this is just an achievement for the game. Like in the original game, obviously it had no purpose, but there's an achievement for actually listening to the whole thing in the collection. And right there is another thing about Reploids. They have no lifespans. They can just live on forever and ever, whereas humans can't. So that's actually an issue that ends up getting addressed later on, like far later on. But not even in this particular, not even in the Zero series, but still. The game actually considers this sort of stuff. The fact that it considers this sort of stuff at all is, like I said, this game is way more story driven than other Mega Man games. It's actually kind of nice, I think. I like deeper, settings and kind of more lore. I think it's fun. Man, everybody's excited to be with Seal. I guess she's just been that nice to them. Okay, but at this point, surely we get the only other respectable weapon in this game, right? Shield boomerang. There we go. The shield boomerang is actually kind of nice. Like, I'm going to stick with the Buster, but we have a shield, and it's throwable. So it's actually a halfway decent weapon. But the Buster is generally more useful at this stage. And Again, this game is very grindy. Let's see, I need, yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, you don't get hardly any E crystals unless you grind for them, so I'm really seriously gonna have to do some off-stream grinding, which I may or may not be able to do. I might just have to go through this vanilla, and then when I start my next playthrough, maybe I'll get some more grinding done. I think we'll go ahead and do this mission right here and then call it a night. So their stock of energy is running out, and there's a factory nearby, but we have to beat a boss. No problem. I want to leave. Nah. Okay, so there's two ways to go about this. Also, this music. They came up with some really interesting music for this game. And it just gets better from here. Like, the other games are legitimately even better. But there's actually a hidden path in this mission, which is something you seldom see from Mega Man games. Back with the spiders again. So if you don't take the hidden path, there's actually this door here it tries to seal, and like you have to race against it. I think we can just, yeah, we can just cut straight to the end of that. There's also a secret path up there. There's a lot of hidden paths. This part kind of sucks. Because you can get hit, and there's not much you can do to answer it. Oh gosh, yeah. And those guys in the way. I forgot about that. Okay, I forgot those guys would be there, and I sort of panicked. Okay, but I know what to do about them. I just buster shot them, that's all. There we go. Just gonna zip through those. Not gonna take the main way because it's actually much more annoying. Don't want to fall in the pit next to the elevator, though. Okay, so gonna use the buster to clear out the spiders. These little things, these little welders or whatever they are, really suck. Ugh. Is there any more enemies gonna come down and try to get me? One of these leads up to a cyber elf. Like one of those paths down there you have to climb up. Ah. It leads to a cyber elf, but I can't remember which one, and I'm not willing to experiment until I know which one it is. Yeah, there's a bunch of E-crystals up there. Ah, mistimed that. Might as well abuse the iframes, though. Aw, man, not fast enough. Oh, that's a place for it to spawn. But if we jump up a little bit, we can... There we go. Just collect this real quick. Believe that's another sub-tank that we could have. There we go. They actually give you health there. This is a non-elemental boss. Yeah. Now, I forget what the pattern is for this one. Like, I know what he does. Oh, okay, yeah. And he's a triple health boss, too. Great. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Might actually be easier to not charge attack this guy. He has a pretty simple pattern. I just needed a refresher on exactly what it is. Ah. Getting stuck in the corner is the problem. You can't hide in the corner from this guy. But it's very difficult to not get trapped in the corner at the same time. Like, that fire move, like, they don't give you much time to get around it. We're going to respectfully dodge that one. Aw, crap. Okay. That actually doesn't do any damage. That's nice. There we go. Oh my gosh, I actually killed him. Okay, his pattern is super simple. I just needed to remember what it was. And there's the flame chip from a multi-element boss. I feel like they just didn't know where else to put it. Okay. That mission's not too bad. Like, compared to the other ones, it's far less annoying. It's just that one part with, like, the little weird welding arms and over the giant pit. That was honestly the scariest part. Like, I remember as a kid, I hated that mission because that part was scary. Look, now that I'm... looking back on it, though, having done it again, it's a lot less scary. I think I was just intimidated by it. That mission was actually better. Man, this is why I wanted to rediscover this game. I wanted to get a fresh take on it after, 15 plus years. Kind of be like, okay, I get lots of nostalgia from this, but was it actually that good? I still think it is. Because I'm seeing a lot of creativity now. Like, when I first played this, I hadn't played the X games. And so now that I have played the original and the X games, I'm starting to see a lot of the creativity that went into this game. And I'm like, this game actually is pretty good. Like, it really was as good as I remember. Maybe even better once I get good again. I love how there's just nothing up here. It's just an empty space. There's actually lots of places and rooms like that. Anyway, it's a little early to stop, but honestly, it's kind of the best place to do that. Like, let me check on one thing real quick, though. I'm gonna check on something real quick, and then I think that's gonna be it for tonight. How much do I need for these, for these sub-tank elves here? 1,200, wow. Oh, man. The amount of grinding they expect you to do in this game is quite a bit. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. Like, the 3,000 I had at the start by loading this file, like, that did not last very long at all. Wow, they expect you to do grinding. Okay. I will keep that in mind for my second playthrough, that apparently I need a lot more than I thought. Now I remember why it took me hours of grinding to actually get enough E-crystals for everything. Yikes. Okay. So, again, you can tell, like, this is clearly a, not the most polished or refined game, but it's their first attempt at doing a lot of new stuff. Like, none of the X games or any of the previous Mega Man games did anything like this. Like, weapons that level up to give you new skills with them, a currency that you use to, basically buy power-ups after you find them. Because, like, there have been Mega Man games with, a currency for you to buy power-ups, but, like that dates back to the original Mega Man games, but, like, typically you don't have to grind them this much, though, normally. Like, there has been grinding in other Mega Man games, but not to this extent. Not to this extent, because, like, just look at how many elves there are. Like, there are 4 sub-tank elves that need 1,200 each, 4 life extension ones, and the life doubler that need, 750 and a bunch more each. There's the defense ones and the hacker one, the animal ones and the hacker ones as well, that all require more and more. Like, there's a lot of grinding to be done. So it's pretty crazy. Anyway, also, instead of buying power-ups from Dr. Light or something, you have to find the power-ups and then pay for them after you find them. So it's trying to do both at the same time, and that's kind of weird. Anyway, we're gonna save it here. Next stream will probably, well, I would like to say we'll probably beat the game. but that'll depend on my skill, and how much or how little I suck. We'll see. So tomorrow we'll probably beat the game for the first time, and then after that, I'm probably gonna want to replay this game again. Do better than this. Like, I'd be okay if I didn't get a perfect, but man, I really do want to actually do better at the game than this, though. So, all right. This has been fun. Thank you for coming, Aurora. Thank you for hanging out, Avalon. I have had lots of fun going through this game again, even with all the deaths and the imperfections. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully, for more. Have a good night.